Hi, I'm S.R.Miller and welcome to this latest video of how I use DXO Photolab 8 to edit my wildlife images. I decided to do this image of a red kite. It's quite a simple edit to do really. It's a bit underexposed. I just need to sort of lift the detail in the bird and maybe darken the sky a bit. So it's this should be quite an easy edit to do. So I just thought I'd just show you how you can do an edit with quite a few, just a couple of tools really. So right, let's get into it. We'll start off how I usually do with the geometry. I'll just do a crop, which I just want to get that back to how we want it. Right, we'll crop that. Just crop it in a bit tighter. Just don't need quite so much sky around it. I'll just show you, I've got a few things set to come in my automatic preset when images are brought into DXO, so that'd be how it would be straight from camera. And I've got a couple of things set in the preset that just sort of lift it a little bit. So we'll go, I would do this. This is one of the things I've set, the rendering intent set that automatically comes in. The smart lighting, that's already on 20 as well. But this image, I just make sure that it is worth working on. So I just lift the exposure to see what it looks like. The bird, yeah, there's plenty there. The sky's not burnt out, so I go ahead and I do a bit of editing on this. So we'll just see what the smart lighting, if I put a bit more smart lighting, see what that does. I don't really like that, it's flattening the bird. You see the bird's head, it's just getting a bit flat, a bit washed out, not enough contrast there. So I'd leave that about 20-25. I'm just looking at the bird now, so I would go in and I'd lift the exposure a little bit. I'd ignore the sky for now. So I'll just go in and lift exposure till I like what the bird's looking like, which isn't bad there. Now I think, just by experience really, I think clear view plus would help on the bird here. It's just, yeah, it had a little bit of contrast and saturation maybe. It is a bit like a dehaze slider. So I just go in 50, probably be too much, but I think it'd take 30. Yeah, that was the bird. He's looking quite nice. Selective tone, I don't think I'd need to do a lot really, just on the selective tones. I might add a little bit more contrast just using the fine contrast. Yeah, that's looking good. That's not so bad. That looks quite good now for the lighting. Colour, I might just add a little bit more saturation, just to lift the colours on the bird a bit. Like I say, I'm ignoring the sky for now. I'll work with the sky in a minute. In fact, I'm going to do that right now, because this is where we get to local adjustments. To pick the sky, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Well, there's a few ways you can use control points, control lines. I'll just show you how you can use a control line to pick a background. So if I go into control line, if I drag down, if you see, it is actually picking the whole of the image now, and then I can go in and use the luma and the chroma slider to refine that, what it's picked there, so just to make sure it's not picking any of the bird. So that's one way you could do it. But on this occasion, I think the luminosity mask would probably be good. I think you do have to have Film Pack 7 installed to use the luminosity mask. So if you didn't have luminosity mask, you could use the control like I just shown you. But on this occasion, I'm going to use the luminosity mask. This is where you just pick somewhere, and that's done quite a good job straight away with picking that. You can try. I'll just zoom in a bit more and just see. I'm looking at this edge detail on the tail feathers. I'll just see if I can just refine that maybe a little bit. I think that's going to be okay. You can just see the back of the bird here has been picked up a little bit with a mask, but I think the easiest way, instead of messing with these sliders, would just be to go in with the eraser tool and just erase that from there. That's quite a good selection we've got now. So using that selection, what I'd do, I call that sky. I'd invert that because I want to pick the bird as well, so I'd duplicate that mask and invert it, and that would be called bird. Right, so for the sky, I just go in and I'd maybe drop the exposure a little bit. I'm just trying to bring a bit more detail back in the clouds. I don't want to darken it too much. Maybe the highlights be good on this. That's looking quite good. Clear for you plus, like a D haze. I'm not doing too much. I think I'll probably leave it at that. This, another thing I quite often use is, because the bird is quite warm colours, you know, the orange and browns in the feathers. So I think this would be quite good if we cooled the background down a bit, just to make it a bit bluer, because you get like colour contrast then, not just light contrast. So I would just knock that down a little bit. Just see how that, it's just made that the clouds a bit greyer, just a cooler. Just think that looks nice without that against that warmer bird. So with a bird, maybe this time you can see it's made quite a good selection of the bird there. I might go in and might add just a little bit of mica contrast to the bird, just to lift the, just to get that to 75% so you can see where it's doing better. Yeah, that's looking quite good. Quite like that. Let's have a look, see if we can do something with the feather detail with the colours on the bird. So if we've got the bird selected, maybe drop the luminosity down slightly. Oh no, I think we'll put it up actually. And the saturation just up a little, just a little bit. Don't want to go over the top, don't want it looking too false. I'd say that'd be the final edit. I'll just go in and check me. I think I've got, it should have come in with deep prime set, so I'll just go in at 100% with a loop, just make sure it's sharp. Yeah, that's fine. So as you can see, that using just not too many tools, I could do that quite quick. If I wasn't making the video, I'd be quicker. But so we go from that to that. As you can see, it's just made that bird pop out of the sky. It's just looks a lot better, and the details in the feathers and things that have come out. Right, I hope you can pick up some tips off this video. Let's only try to help to see if these little things you might sort of not realise, and then if you watch me do it, you might pick up a few tips. Right, thanks for watching. Bye.